Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Yappin Blue Shirts Podcast with me and Ant. Sorry we missed you on an episode this week. We are only putting out one episode due to personal reasons. Today we're going to be covering the Leafs, Montreal, and then kind of just the next two games, which is going to be the Florida Panthers and the Ducks. Ant, how's your day today?
It's doing well, having a good day, looking forward to it. And yeah, keep it
Very
going.
good. Very
What
good.
about
Very
what,
good.
what about yourself?
Having a good day. Had to do some errands and then went to the gym, feeling good, work later. And then, kind of just filming the podcast for now. So.
Yeah.
Oh, let's have a good time with it. Let's go right into the Leafs. Just jump right into it. Rangers getting a 4-1 win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Very good win. As a Ranger fan, you can't be really any more happier right now. They're playing great, especially about Toronto. Montreal, but we'll get into all of everything. Getting right into it, 4-1 win over them. Rangers playing a great game. A little bit in that third period, started getting a little sketchy, but like I said, we'll kind of cover everything period by period a little bit. Rangers started opening the scoring with Lafreniere again, second or third of the season. I believe it was the second, correct?
It was
Yeah,
a second, yeah.
second of the season. Uh, he's just providing more numbers. Second line still looks pretty great. Um, yeah, I mean, what else can we even
Yeah.
say, really?
It was great. It was uh I don't know who the defender was, might have been Mancini or Miller. I don't remember. They shot it in. Trocheck was battling in front of the net, found Lafreniere's stick, took his time, shot one. Great goal.
But going back to the Rangers though, with against Toronto, one thing I really kind of want to touch upon was their penalty kill against Toronto because it was excellent. Rangers really kind of didn't let a lot of passes through, a lot of intercepted passes, a lot of good forced turnovers, and really kind of caged Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews is a guy who loves to crash the net, gets the shots on. He still had a good amount of shots against Igor, but a lot of the times the Rangers had two or three players around him, and they were really not able to kind of get the puck to him.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see. And I don't want to make a little comparison to football here, but when you have like that star guy, that wide receiver, that whatever, you want to make sure he's not getting targeted, he's not getting catches. For Austin Matthews, let's try not to let him get shots. Let's put pressure on him. Let's force the other guys to do something because he's a star guy. He put up 50 plus goals last year, right?
Yeah, 60.
Yeah, put up 60 goals. So Rangers had a good game plan. I thought they did pretty well against him.
Yeah, he still ended up finding the back of the net. It was the only goal from Toronto, but a lot of other players kind of no-showed. I mean, you had great saves from Igor, Robin William Nylander on that one. But I mean, I didn't really kind of notice Mitch Marner on that ice a lot, William Nylander on that ice a lot. It was really kind of just Austin Matthews' presence kind of living right there against the Rangers. Igor with another outstanding performance.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, signed the contract, $12 million. Who gives a damn at this
yeah.
point? Dude, they need him. They need him.
They need him. I think he went 34 for 35
He
for
did.
saves. And I mean, these saves are unbelievable. Doing that little windmill, grabbing it over. Exaggerating, but hey,
Yeah,
looks good in the highlights. And Igor,
100%.
I mean, insane.
Absolutely insane. A lot of great saves, but a lot of grade A opportunities that Rangers let up, especially going into that third period. I thought the Rangers played a really well first period. And what I think they do really well is moving the puck around. They really kind of just pass the puck really comfortably, moving up the ice. They don't even have to dump it down to really start a possession in the offensive zone. They could just simply skate in. Keandre Miller did a really good job last game against Montreal. He passed it right off the boards, and he's in the zone. He has space, and they're looking for guys to get shots towards the net. So, yeah, the Rangers just unbelievable stuff, unbelievable. The Rangers are playing extremely well on the penalty kill, like I wanted to say. Igor's been absolutely fantastic with a .950 save percentage, 20 scoring chances, and only one goal allowed into those penalty kills. But the Rangers need to stop giving up penalties. It's killing them. They're still coming out winning games, but they are seventh in the league with penalty minutes, and they do have 79 penalty minutes. And it's not even like it's a guy like Jacob Trouba at this point. You see Adam Fox getting a lot of penalties. Panarin's getting a few. It's just kind of everyone touching upon it.
Yeah. And I mean, even like that game against Toronto, it is a 4-1 victory. And if you look at the box score, hey, 4-1's pretty comfortable win. But I mean, it was 2-1 going into the third period. And that was just tight. Rangers got two empty net goals at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to clean it up. I don't know exactly how many power plays Toronto had, but it was a lot, and they had a ton of opportunities.
100%. The Rangers love to leave that middle open sometimes, and it's kind of scary because a pass could easily come down which it did from to William Nylander to have an opportunity. Igor just getting the love and it just creeping out a little bit. But they kind of made the same mistakes going into Montreal. And I don't know if it's because they were up for, and it's almost like you don't really give a shit out. I mean, they give a shit, but like you're up 4-1. I mean, 4-0 11 minutes into the game. They get comfortable and those mistakes start happening a little bit more. And there was a lot of grade A opportunities in that Montreal game in that first period, even going up 4-1.
Yeah. And I mean you said it there. I mean, you're up 4-0 going into it. Just took their foot off the pedal and then just let the game just ride. And
Yeah.
well, at least in the first, and then obviously put up a couple more goals. But yeah, give them a lot of opportunities. That's not good. I mean,
No.
against these top teams, Montreal is not too great, younger core. But when you go up against these top teams, they're going to bury these goals. These aren't, you're giving them great chances. And even in Toronto, they gave up a bunch of, I think, 2 or 3 breakaways. Was
Yeah.
for Igor being so great. That's 2, 3 goals right there.
Especially going into Florida, the Rangers hosting Florida this next coming up game. It needs to stop happening. It needs to. It's
Yeah.
you're just like you said, you couldn't have said it any better, Ant. I mean, against these top teams, they're gonna make you pay. And we're lucky Toronto didn't make us pay. Toronto should have won that game realistically. Going into that third period, there was way too much pressure on Igor. And obviously Igor being Igor, making great saves left and right. But it's not what you want to see, especially kind of coming from the season you had last season getting outshot every game. The Rangers are 27th in the league before the Montreal game with the most amount of shots let up on net, which is not great to see still. But they did only let up around, I think it was 24 shots against Montreal. Like Ant said, a little bit younger core of a team, not too much experience, but it's a good start from one game to another. So we'll see kind of how it plays out for the rest of the season. But getting less shots to the net on Igor is something that needs to happen, and that's where the Rangers like strongest link of I don't even really know what to say, the biggest weakness, and that it's always been that. But I don't know. We'll see going into the rest of the season. Like we said, we're only 6 games in right now, guys.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of hockey left. Uh, Rangers can't let their foot off the gas now, especially going on a road trip, coming out 4-0 now in a way. So we'll see. We'll see. Going into Montreal now, I know we didn't really cover too much on Toronto. We kind of just want to get everything in here on this podcast because we do have a lot to cover. Going into Montreal, what a start. And it starts from that first line and Hedel too, that third line. It kind of showed that game. You don't need your second line to win games. You don't. Riley Smith had a great performance. Hedo kind of getting that second goal for him with that beautiful forecheck and that beautiful pass from Riley Smith. Woo,
Yeah.
woo.
These I mean, hey, this was great. Again, Montreal not the best team, but forcing turnovers, playing strong, playing hard. And we saw that. Riley Smith, this is only whatever 5, 6 games in. This is his best game as a Ranger, and he's proven or he's shown that hey, I could be with the big dogs up there up top.
100%. He did it with Vegas. He had a 60-point season a couple years back. We talked about it prior to the show,
Mm,
but
yep.
he had a 60-point season. He had 20 something goals, 40 something assists. Uh,
Yep.
Riley Smith is a guy that he wants to prove that he could still be a good guy on that first line for the Rangers. And we said it. We said it. Riley Smith, if he can kind of come around, kind of get everyone going a little bit, everyone's going to start finding the back of the net. Mika with the first goal. Absolute beautiful passing. I think that's what the Rangers do very well is moving and controlling that neutral zone. The passes and they're playing. It's looking like they've been together for 10 years and they've known each other like their whole lives, the way they're passing the puck and moving it.
Yeah. I mean, not just like it's beautiful, so
Yeah.
comfortable, and
It,
yeah,
No, it
keep on
is.
going.
Oh, something about the Rangers I kind of wanted to cover it was the face-off goals. They have 4 face-off goals right now, which leads the league in goals off the face-off. Another great stat for the Rangers. The Rangers penalty kill, I believe it's seventh, but a big thing that you kind of want to take away from that is the Rangers have a lot of experience. I mean, you have guys kind of on the penalty kill, 1, 2, 3 lines, whatever, how many lines they want to run through, that can go the other way. Vinny T can go the other way. Chris Kreider, Mika Zibanejad, we know shorthanded. They can go the other way. They did that the first game against the Penguins. Kreider got a goal off of it. Kind of even going into like I said, Vinny T again. It's just someone who could win faceoffs. They win the draw in the defensive zone, get the puck down, or even just go the other way with it if they could.
Yeah, and they've been showing up. They've been showing out.
Go back to Montreal though. I said Hito got the second goal. I meant to say that is his second goal. Nah, he got the second goal. That's my mistake. Johnny Bradinsky got the second goal with a great hustle from Adam Enstrom. Adam Enstrom has been a great player. I mean, the whole team all around. Each line is scoring. Each line is getting points. The Rangers plus or minus the worst is 0, and I believe Lafreniere has that. But if you want to talk plus or minus, Will Cully is second in the league with a +9. Then you have Braden Schneider with a +8, Filipino with a +8, Capo Caco even with a +7. And if you want to talk about Jacob Trouba at number 9 with a +7. It's
Yeah,
good numbers, and especially that's not even your top guys. That's not your first and second line. That's your third line touching all of that. That's Capo, that's Hedel, that's Will Cully. Will Cully has made himself known. They're all crashing that. Everyone's getting shots on. It just looks pretty great all around from lines 1 to 4 to defense to lines 1 to 3. Uh, really, really, really exciting and amazing to see kind of going into the rest of the season as a Ranger fan. You can be excited right now.
yeah, and you could be, and you should be. Just going back on Will Cooley. I mean, this guy looks like a vet already. He's in year 2, and
Hmm.
he's playing hard. He's hitting. Led all rookies in hits last year. He's
Hmm.
hitting. He's creating chances. Him and Hedo have a nice little connection. They had a nice little drop pass. Might have been game 2 of the season.
Yeah.
That was nice. And if they keep this going, this is a great line, and this is just frees it up for those other 2 lines that we just expect so much from. To have this third line come out and produce the way they are currently, hopefully to move on going later in the season. But that's fantastic.
100%. And even the fourth line puts their work in. Sam Karak has been a great center. He's been great. Winning faceoffs, he battles hard. And if so everyone needs a line change, he's the last guy that's out there. So I mean, really can't ask for much more. But covering more of the goals, the Rangers scored 3 goals within the first 6 minutes of the period. And then the score of the fourth, 11 minutes in. Shots on net. That's what they keep needing to do. The Rangers put up over 40 something shots last game. And I mean, when was the last time you seen the Rangers throwing 40 shots on net? You don't see
Couldn't
it
tell you.
often. You don't see it often. And only letting up, like we said, I believe it was 23 that they let up.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But again, to what you want to see out of this team, especially really, I don't know if anyone really had high expectations. It was kind of like last year. You didn't really have high expectations going into the season. This year, I really didn't have that high of expectations. Obviously, the Rangers coming off a great season, but a lot of pieces that we thought were going to be moved over the offseason that just didn't happen. But the players are putting it together. Capo Caco with a goal and 2 assists last night, too. Filipino with 2 goals and assists last night. Riley Smith getting a goal and assist last night. Mika Zibanejad getting the first goal of the game off a beautiful drop pass and a beautiful setup from everyone.
Yeah, it's been great. And even going, like we said, going to this year, but also like some of the signings, like we expected in free agency, hey, we might get this guy, we might go out and get this guy, trading this guy. Instead, we pick up Sam Carrick, right? And
Mhm.
like the casual, they look at the stats like, hey, this guy puts up no points, blah blah blah. But that's not his role. Like we talked about earlier, he's a fourth liner. He hustles. He's been good in his first games. I've been impressed.
Same thing with Johnny Bradinsky too, another player that loves to hustle. He wants to be there. He wants a roster spot, and you can tell. Same thing with Adam Enstrom, obviously getting the rookie camp of the year. He's proving why he can be on this roster and he could stay on this roster. And then it's like, well, what happens when Jimmy VC comes back? Because these guys are playing
Yeah,
great.
I have no clue what the Rangers will do. Then we'll see when Jimmy VC comes back. Because yeah, everything's been great. I mean, the Rangers don't have an official loss. They have an OT loss, but you know they haven't lost on the road yet.
No, they're 4-0. The one loss, technically, like you said, was to Utah, and it was at home, a 6-5 overtime loss. But speaking of players coming back, Ryan Lindgren making his return against the Montreal Canadiens. Dude was strapped up.
Yeah.
Like the broken jaw, dude. He's a tough cookie, I could tell you that, dude. Have you ever seen someone like him? Jesus Christ, dude. He takes a beating. He could be in a coffin, he could be in crutches, and he's still coming out to play a whole fucking 60 minutes of that game.
Yeah, he's a competitor and he wants to win. And yeah, he good to see him back. Hopefully he's doing all right, obviously, with all the protection. Hopefully
Mhm.
be okay. One thing we did see with him, and I wonder what you think about this, didn't pair him up with his usual defensive pairing, Adam Fox. Instead, had him with the young gun, Victor Mancini. I wonder what you think about that.
I really like it actually. I do. You didn't see the Rangers' problem was it almost felt like if Ryan Lindgren wasn't on that ice, the Rangers weren't winning. The Rangers start winning, and why change anything there? Put Victor Mancini with the guy who could take hits, could be physical. Uh, I love the pairing. I love it. Why change anything at this point? They're still winning games. You just add another addition. Zach Jones, who played a really good role for that third line, but you get Ryan Lindgren back, and you know Zach Jones is available, and he will put in the work. Like we said, from that fourth line from Jimmy VC, it's like, who do you take out? Well, it's the same thing with the defensive pair. Zach Jones isn't particularly someone that you even want to take out now, especially after the few games that he's had, and even in preseason getting 2 goals.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up about Zach Jones. I kind of feel bad for him because he was playing well, but I mean, we have our guy that was injured that was gonna come and get the spot anyways. So hopefully down the road, whatever it is, we will see Zach Jones because I'm a fan of him and I think he is a good young player.
Yeah, Will played the other day, I believe against Toronto. That was his debut game for the,
Yeah,
not debut, I'm sorry. Well,
season debut.
debut, season
Yeah,
debut for the Rangers. Not really so much on him.
yeah,
Just, just did his role.
just a defender.
100% just did his role, and he did well with it. So Rangers came up with the W with him as well. Um, like we said, though, Zach Jones is a valuable character. Someone goes down, he's first guy in.
Yeah.
And then you even have your prospects, like we were talking about. You grab a guy that's similar to Keandre Miller, Gabe, right? Correct, Ant?
Oh no, EJ Emery.
EJ. That
Yeah,
you know the prospects better than I do. You know
yeah, I
our
know a
farm
little bit.
system. I need to do a little bit more studying with that, but you're right. That's just another guy that I mean, he's young. Still needs a
Yeah,
little bit of experience. I believe he's going back to college to play, like we said.
it is. Yeah,
But just another guy that eventually, within time, hopefully 2 to 3 years, he's a guy you can pull up to. He's a big body. He's quick. He can move the puck in the zone. So we'll kind of just see how that kind of plays out within the next couple of years. But obviously, focusing more to this year, the Rangers look fantastic.
they do. Coming off a big 7-2 win.
One more thing we kind of wanted to cover in that first period with the Rangers, a lot of grade A opportunities. And like we said with Toronto going into that third period, the Rangers kind of seemed like they kind of not let off the gas, but kind of a little bit more laid back. All right, you have a 4-0 win in the first period. What's the game going to look like for the rest on out? But there's too many opportunities in that zone that some guy is open in the middle of the damn ice to take a shot right on Igor. And I feel like the second line got caught a lot and they got caught in the zone. They looked scrambled and there was one too many times, even going back to the Toronto game in that third period, is that they're letting these opportunities kind of happen. And obviously they play a great offensive game forward, but you need to play the same game going back. It works both ways. So
Yeah, it does. And you need I mean, hey, like you just said it. You need to, you're going up, you're making the attacks, you're scoring the goals. You also got to come back and not give up these sloppy turnovers and these whatever, these cross ice passes that'll get, taken off and they're going on a counterattack.
yeah,
You got to just clean it up.
100%. I mean that's just something that really needs to just that and shots on goal, but that's something that creates the shots on goal. So it starts from one thing, right? So we kind of see what the Rangers are going to have in store for us against Florida. We're going to pray that they don't have a period that they fall apart and those opportunities are going to be taken for. Because Sam Reinhart will shove that shit right down your face. Same thing with Sam Bennett, Matthew Kachuk. Dude, they have a roster still. Still have a great
Yeah,
roster. So clean up a little bit, you know, we'll see how it goes. Second period going into Montreal, though, it was a little sloppy. I wasn't able to watch it too much because it was my girlfriend's birthday yesterday. So we were singing happy birthday and everything, but I
happy
paid
birthday.
attention. Thank you. Shout out her. But yeah, I what I was seeing though, it was just like it looked a little bit more sloppy. Rangers secured one more goal going into that, but really kind of we won't touch too much on the second. It's just kind of the same bullshit mistakes that they're kind of making. Sloppy turnovers. When they're not getting the passes together, it seems like they lose control of that neutral zone. And that's where it kind of falls a little bit downhill for them a little bit. And that's kind of what happened in that second period. But going into the third, though, the Rangers were excellent on getting shots on goal. That last 5, 10 minutes, dude, they were just shooting everything. Especially Riley Smith, who has been excellent with that. He gets a lot of shots to the net, and it creates a good amount of grade A opportunities for Mika or Kreider to just try to chip it up and finish it in the back of the net. Get shots on net, puck will drop. And it did. And we saw the opportunity where it was Riley Smith just took a shot on net within that first period. Mika almost had that little lift up, but it was just a great save.
Yeah. And that's the thing that we've been before the podcast years and years just shooting the puck. That's what you have to do. Every
Hmm.
team does that. You know, do it. You go in the zone, whatever. You're trying to make the fancy passes, the left and the rights, whatever it is. Just shoot the puck. Good things happen. Like they say in baseball, you put the ball in play and good things happen. Hockey, just shoot the puck on net, and hey, the goalie could drop it. He could ricochet off his pad into the net. Whatever the case is, just shoot the puck. Good things will happen.
100%. That's what they were doing exactly in the third period, though. Like I said, they were just firing shot after shot after shot. Montreal also did a bad job of leaving a lot of people open. I feel like the Rangers also spaced himself out, but it starts with the passing. They kept controlling that neutral zone, dude, and they're looking good. They're playing 1-2 passes. It's quick. It's moving. Everyone's moving around. You kind of see the off puck movement, and that's what really creates the goal opportunities. So, fantastic work from the Rangers. Absolutely beautiful. One thing that we kind of wanted to cover on before going to Florida, great opportunities, have to slow down a little bit, keep control of that neutral zone, get shots on net, crash the net.
Yeah, most definitely. One thing I do want to say about Montreal, just a little like overview. One thing I do want to bring up is that their crowd is rowdy. I feel like every time the Rangers go there, they are loud. I mean, Canada obviously hockey is everything there, but they are loud. They were rowdy, and even like Rangers go to Detroit, and it's like, the crowd ain't really there. These guys are into it. They are loud, and it was yeah, kind of felt like that playoff atmosphere. Obviously, they're on a playoff team, but like had that crowd noise for it for sure.
I'm actually really glad you brought that up because I really did notice that even the first opportunity of the game that Montreal got, and even going 2-0 down, dude, that crowd was still alive.
Yeah,
And like a lot of momentum would be killed. They say you go to the Garden, dude, you go anywhere else, bro. Crowd after opportunity, just like, oh, like you hear like the reactions, but they're really into it. And
they
I really
are.
love that about Montreal. So I'm actually really glad you brought that up because I
Yeah,
wasn't gonna bring that up.
it's a thing I noticed for sure.
But it's something that can get your team kind of going too. You know, they put from one away and then they put another. It was 4-2. Nick Suzuki grabbing a second. Whatever, dude. It almost looked like they could have turned it into a game if they were to get one more. Thankfully, uh Rangers secured that fifth goal. I forgot exactly what it was. I'll tell you right exactly now. It was Braden Schneider off a beautiful
Oh,
shot. That's a kid
so
that you need to
rip.
talk about too. A beautiful shot from Braden Schneider. We talked about it. He has a wrister on him. He needs to keep shooting the puck, and pucks will go in the net. And he did find his second goal of the season. As a defender, I mean, 6 games in, getting 2 goals, you got to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, you definitely do. And he's looked great. He's looked
Mm.
really good. And that shot, I mean, that was a beauty. Look
Mhm.
at that. Just ripped one right
Yeah.
past the goalie in the net. And he's looking very good, clean,
Yeah,
very clean
100%.
from him.
Another defender, obviously, we could just touch upon real quick, is Adam Fox. Adam Fox looks sharp. He's moving the puck extremely well, putting his teammates in a great scoring opportunity, and they're finding the back of the net. I believe Fox has 6 points in 6 games. I don't think he has a goal yet. I think they're all assists,
I
but
believe so.
doesn't matter. He's finding the way to get to the net. You know, he's finding those opportunities for his teammates. And I mean, there's really nothing else that you could really kind of say about him except Adam, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Now going into team stats, let's just see how we're doing as a whole team against the whole league. Going to the power play percentage, the Rangers are fifth with a 31.6% power play percentage. Number one is the Winnipeg Jets, 44%. So they're quite clean on the power play, but
Yeah.
this is what this power play does. And we love to see it. We love the power play. The power play last year was unbelievable. Great. This year, a lot of 5-on-5. Power play still doing good. What do you think about that, Tyler?
I mean, I think the Rangers can creep into that top three. Like we said, against Detroit especially, they are able to move that puck and make that team work for 2 minutes, and they even did it against Toronto. Even against that 6-on-5 goal that Kreider was able to pick up, that beautiful pass from Panarin to Mika to download a Kreider. They make every team work when they have one extra skater on, and they make them tired, and it gets goals. I mean, they had, like we said, three, four, five power play goals in total against Detroit. I think it was three in the one game. They look good, but it's the test is if they could really keep doing it against top teams, and that's what I love to see that we play Florida so early, especially on how hot of a start the Rangers start. So it's kind of like a make or break for us right now. It's like, all right, you could beat this team, then we'll kind of see what else really kind of needs to be worked on. If you can't beat this team, it sees what can you work on.
Mhm.
So the penalty kill and the power play absolutely been outstanding. Something I want to touch upon is the penalty kill after this. But the power play has been outstanding. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys will keep finding the back of the net. Just keep getting shots in the net.
Yeah. Quick tangent. I want to ask you another question. Is obviously the power play we just talked about it great, right? Now, would you want to see any changes with it? Do you want to see Alexi Lafreniere on the power play, or do you want to just keep it how it is and let them just roll?
I mean, they're not doing anything wrong right now. And even the second line grabbed a goal yesterday with Filipino
Mhm.
and a beautiful pass from Riley Smith down low. Uh, no, I don't see the need for a change. Which like why change anything that's not broken, right? So, I mean, if it gets a little sloppy, I feel like eventually, they kind of slow it down a little bit. The Rangers hit a hump last year where they were unable to score power play goals. But if it comes down to that, then I think you could throw Lafreniere in there. But who are you going to throw Lafreniere in there for?
Yeah,
Because he
it's a
was in
real
there.
question.
He was in there for Panarin when Panarin was hurt in the preseason. But realistically, you're not taking Panarin out. You're not taking Mika Zibanejad out. You're not taking Vinny T out. You're not taking Chris Kreider. You're not taking Adam Fox out. Obviously, Adam Fox. But I think the thing is with the Rangers, and the only person that you could realistically replace uh Lafreniere with is Panarin, but you just wouldn't do that
Yeah,
because you
never.
have Mika Zibanejad who can win faceoff. Say you have Vinny T on a draw and he gets thrown out of the circle. You throw another guy like Mika Zibanejad who's been amazing on faceoffs. So it's almost like it only comes down to injury if that you will change that. But even if I think they didn't even touch the power play lines, even when the Rangers were slumping in that. So it's kind of like you see if they could keep reducing. Like I said, I think they'll be top three eventually. So I'd see no changes throughout the whole season with this power play unit. They've been great. So even the second power play unit, they don't get a lot of time, but they made it worth it. They got
They
on for the
did.
50 seconds that they did, and they got the goal. Sometimes they can't really keep possession in and move the puck as beautifully as the first power play line, but a lot of those guys are younger bodies. So it's kind of just like you kind of experiment maybe a little bit, see who else can kind of fill that role within the second line, and then you see from there if you could make any changes to the first line. But to sum up your question, now I just don't see any changes to the power play one line.
Yeah, and the reason I bring that up because that is a talk on on the Twitter, on the Instagram, whatever people be talking about, because they want to see Lafreniere get the big points, and having him on the line would obviously bump his points up. But yeah, just to answer my own question, I don't think so either. I think they just keep it how it is.
I
And
mean,
yeah,
everyone wants to see Lafreniere get more points, right?
yeah,
But realistically, those are your top five guys. Those are the five guys you need on the ice when
hmm,
the opponent team is down four.
yeah,
So, uh, yeah, I mean, everyone wants to see Lafreniere break out even more than what he did last year, grabbing 50 something odd points last year. But I think he could do that without being on that power play one line, being on that power play two line. Uh, he could still get the scoring opportunities that he can, even if they don't get as much as an opportunity as the first power play line. Like we said, they still developed a goal. It's still possible for them to keep it going. And they show within those 40 seconds that they can grab a goal, even if they're not even in the zone long. I mean, Lafreniere on the second line too. He's just going to be putting up the points no matter what.
yeah,
I think he's going to get to 70. So it's kind of just like it's a make or break it type thing. It's kind of see if they can keep reducing. But no, there's going to be no changes to that power play one line.
yeah,
Going back into the team stats. Sorry, we got a little distracted. I mean, for good
yeah.
reason. Some things I wanted to bring up that I wrote down a little bit is that the Rangers are fourth in goals against, only averaging 2 goals against. Igor definitely being a big help in that, but also that 6 goal game kind of killed him a little bit. Jonathan Quick even shut him down and only allowing 2 goals in that game. So that's one thing I wanted to touch about. And then, I mean, the Rangers had the most goals in the league. They look outstanding. They could score. Dude, they are proving to everybody why they are a top team. They have scored 4 goals or more in every single game that they've played. Uh, three of those games, they've scored 6 goals. Or no, I'm sorry, 5 goals. 5 goals. I'm sorry. Utah, they scored 5. Pittsburgh, they scored 6. Last night they scored 7. And against Detroit, they scored 5 also. So that's 4 games. And then you put 4 against the Leafs, obviously being the 2 open netters. Doesn't matter. All counts the same though. A win's a win, and
Those are goals.
100%. 100%. And what other
Yep.
stats you got for us today?
Let's see. So the Rangers do lead the whole NHL in just overall points. What, like, obviously assists and goals. They
Mhm.
lead everyone. They have, I want to say it's 84. They do. They have 84 in 6 games. Number 2 is the Devils with 83, but they've played 9 games. So 3 less games. Rangers have 84 points already in the season. That is a lot. They've been producing. We just talked about it.
Yeah, 100%. And also, kind of even touching about the Devils. The Devils have 3 games on us, and we are number 1 in the Metro right now. Just need
Yeah.
to keep the foot on the gas and keep going, boys. That's it. That's
Yeah.
simply it. I believe the Devils are 5-2-1.
5-3-1.
5-3-1. Yes, you're right. They played 9 games. Okay. So,
Yep.
like we said, we're 3 games ahead. We lead the Metro right now. We lead the conference right now. 6 games in for us. And like we said, the Devils playing 9 games and us being ahead right now. You think the Devils would look a lot better right now. But they just, I mean, they look good. They're scoring opportunities. Jack Hughes looks amazing. But the Devils took a beating last night. 8-5, they lost to Tampa
Oof.
Bay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hagel had a hat trick last night for Tampa Bay, so shout out to him.
Shout out to him.
But screw Tampa Bay as much as we screwed New Jersey. So,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Something we totally forgot to talk about was the big Jacob Trouba hit. Uh, no suspension, no fine from it. Tyler, what are you thinking about it?
There was not even a penalty on there, and I didn't think there was a penalty on there. A lot of people love to call Jacob Trouba dirty, and respectfully so. He does have his hits, obviously, but I feel like a good amount of his hits recently have been pretty clean, unless they come to the playoffs and it's getting frustrated. That's kind of where you see him to start the body. But he lowered the shoulder. The guy's skating in the zone. You got to know who you're on the ice with at that point. I mean, skating into the zone with Jacob Trouba, like kind of staring you down a little bit. It's definitely intimidating. And he tried to put on the brakes, and Jacob just ran through him. And Truba trained, you know what it is, you know what it comes with. You got to know your surroundings at that point.
Yeah. And yeah, the guy skating in, I don't know who it was, sorry, sir, but like it felt like he was just walking in the zone, honestly. Like it felt like slow motion. The guy's like slowly skating in there and Trouba just flies out of nowhere.
100% though. I mean, he was hugging the boards a good amount, and Truba was like a medium distance.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's laying that hit. You got to know who you're on the ice with. You have to know your surroundings. Uh,
Keep your
I
head
mean,
up.
yeah. Keep your head up when you're going to the zone. That's for sure. When the Trouba train's coming through.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, jumping into Florida a little bit, kind of looking towards the schedule. We do play Florida for our next game, and that will be at home. It will be tomorrow, or technically today when this episode's uploaded.
Yep.
Thursday night
Thursday.
game, 7 o'clock, MSG Network. And what do you think the Rangers have to do to succeed against the Florida Panthers tomorrow night?
I think they just have to keep on playing the way they're playing. Keep these shots up, keep this pressure up, force these turnovers. Obviously, Igor's going to be Igor. He's never a worry. Obviously, he has his games, but he's never a worry. And yeah, keep on playing the way we're playing. Florida's a fierce team. I believe they're coming off a loss,
They
so
are.
they might be trying to bounce back for a win here. And let's stop them.
Yeah, 100%. They are coming off a loss from the Minnesota Wild. They did pull Bobrovsky after 16 shots,
Oof.
allowing 5 goals in. 5-1 was the final score. Minnesota really kind of putting belt to ass and kind of just letting them know. Florida did have a good amount of shots, I believe. I believe they did put up 20, or I'm sorry, 32 shots. Uh, but yeah, like Ant said, they're looking for revenge for a win. And especially it's going to MSG. Everyone loves going to MSG, the world's most famous arena. It's electric. It's amazing to go to. Not even being a biased Ranger fan, dude. That's just known around the league, right? So, I think Florida's going to come out swinging, especially how they were last year. We covered them a lot this season just because of how much that we needed to talk about them and how much of a focus and what needed to be changed from them. But kind of just looking like exactly and playing the same way that they're playing, and on top of it too, like we said a million times, clean it up in that zone. They're allowing too many shots, open shots in front of the net against Igor. Guys like Sam Bennett, guys like Matthew Kachuk, guys like Sam Reinhart, they'll make you pay for it. They will. And hopefully that's not what we see tomorrow or today, like we said. Yeah, I mean, it's a little scary going to Florida, but it's a good test for the New York Rangers, because they have played a good amount of teams that really don't have that great of a record. But they played Toronto, they played Detroit twice. Detroit's a good team. They're 3-3 right now. Two of our losses coming from us, but yeah, kind of just not letting up on the gas. Keep playing the way they're playing. Control that neutral zone. A lot of pressure, a lot of forced turnovers, and get that power play working. Have a good penalty kill. Florida has a beautiful, beautiful power play. So we'll really kind of just see it. They're a top team in the league for sure. They're third in the conference right now. They're going to be coming to play, especially the MSG, especially getting their ass kicked in Minnesota. So
Yeah,
we'll kind of see what we're looking like going into that. But yeah, and you have the numbers for our guys,
I do.
correct? All
I
right,
do.
let's hear it a little
So,
bit. Answer
hey,
stat guy.
a little trivia for you. Who do you think out of the Rangers' top guys, right?
All
The
right,
big dogs. Who do you think has put up the most points against
Re-
against Florida
regular season or
regular
all
season?
regular season? Uh, Honestly, I'm gonna go with Chris Kreider here. I'm not too sure.
Uh, you just off.
I
Chris
was.
Kreider, 28 points against Florida, 13 goals, 15 assists, a plus 10
Yeah.
in 32 games, beat just by Artemi Panarin,
Yeah.
who has 29 points.
I was thinking more because
Yeah,
Kreider has a lot more experience with the Rangers, but Panarin was going to be my second answer for sure. It was Mika right after that, just because how
yeah,
much time they have on the Rangers. But impressive stuff from Panarin to kind of come in, what, 3, 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years
yeah,
ago, and 29 points against the Florida Panthers in the regular season is a great number to see.
it
Uh,
is.
the Rangers play pretty well against Florida in the regular season, I believe, correct?
I
If I'm
believe
not
they
mistaken.
do. I don't know their overall record against them, but from the stats, they're pretty good. Panarin, 8 goals, 21 assists, a plus 4 in 20 games. He's solid. Mika, 14 goals, 12 assists, a plus 3 in 29 games, and then one more for Igor. He's 4-2-0 in the regular season against them. So a little bit of a smaller sample size, but he has a 2.83 goals allowed average, or goals against average, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
And he has a .918 save percentage. So he's pretty good against them.
0.918, he could clean that up a little bit
Yeah.
better. I mean, it's not a bad save percentage, but the way Igor's looking right now, I really hope the Rangers only let up a max of 2 goals tomorrow. Like I said, it's more just controlling that neutral zone and kind of getting the opportunities and taking the opportunities and really burying it and getting shots on net like they did against Montreal. We talked about it. They got a lot of shots and a lot of pressure in that third period. Going into Florida, dude, it needs to be the same exact thing. Play how you're playing right now. Play like this 4-0 road trip team that you guys just had. Keep it going. Especially
Yeah.
coming back home, dude. The Rangers are 1-0-1. They only played 2 games in the Garden, so it's gonna be a nice little welcome home for them too, especially after such a good road trip, going Detroit and then Canada for 2 games.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. One thing I do want to talk about Florida, thing we saw in the playoffs, is their pressure. Like I feel like they get into like a flow state where they shoot the puck down, always a guy right there. Our defenders, whoever it is back there behind the net, whatever, constant pressure, and they forced a ton of turnovers. Rangers tried to clear it from their own zone. There was times where Florida kept it in our zone forever. We couldn't even make a play in their offensive zone because the Rangers are just they're getting stuck. And that's because Florida has had fantastic pressure and their forecheck was unbelievable.
Yeah, you're very right with that though, Ant. Very, very right. The Rangers get stuck a little bit, and then it gets to the point that they're sitting in the zone for 2 minutes, and you can't even go the other way because you need to dump the puck a little bit because you need to go get a line change. But it all starts from that neutral zone possession. Like you said, they do put a great amount of pressure on, and you kind of really hope you don't see what we saw last year. Maybe it was just because it was a set game of seven. Florida was the better team. It was without a doubt. Florida was always, I mean, a great depth. Peter Laviolette, I thought got outcoached a little bit. A lot of guys playing over 20 minutes last year, in each game, which is something you don't really want to see because it makes everyone else tired, and you're not playing that third and fourth line as much. It's not going to turn out well for you. But that's what the Florida Panthers are so good at is having such great depth to their team and having a great coach. I forgot. Why can't I think of the name? I'm blanking right now. Amazing coach
Yeah,
though.
he's very good. I'll pull him up.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very, very good. I'm so terrible with names. I
Paul
just know face.
Maurice.
Yeah, Paul. Paul is absolutely fantastic. There's a reason why the Florida Panthers won a cup last year, and he's one of the main reasons why. So
Yeah.
we'll see with the Rangers tomorrow. I'm predicting. I think the Rangers, Bobrovsky, if he's going back in the net, he did not have that great of a game. Hopefully that gets into his head a little bit. I hope the Rangers could put another four away against him. Maybe grab one open netter. Hopefully another 5-2 victory for the Rangers. But like we said, things you kind of want to see, a lot of pressure, good move, neutral zone possession, moving the puck exactly how they've been doing it. Each game, there's been a period or two periods where they're moving the puck extremely well, and they look like the best team in hockey. I
Yeah.
mean, they look fantastic when they know how to get that puck moving around, and they work it in the zone rather than dumping it in all the time and having to force that possession in the zone. Uh, the Panthers are going to be a very good team, and they're going to be very hard to get past because they are very hard to get into their zone. They do hold a lot of pressure at that blue line right there. So it's more like we will just see and how it goes. Like we said before, and it's kind of like you'll see the mistakes, you work on the mistakes after. I'm not going to be devastated if they lose
Yeah.
tomorrow, though. But if it's some crap that it's like, all right, well, you've seen this mistake in Toronto where they're letting up grade A opportunities, and they did the same thing against Montreal. If that's the same mistakes that you're seeing against Florida, especially Florida being a top team, it's a little scary to see. But if it's like a 4-3 hard fought loss like it was against Utah, there's really nothing too much to dwell about.
Yeah. As long as you see the effort and you see you know, see them at least come out to play. If they come out and look like some of the games they did in the playoffs where they just looked absolutely dead and Florida just, wipes the floor with them, then I mean, then we'll be your next episode having a bit of a different talk. But nothing too serious because it is early.
Yeah.
But no.
No, you're right. What I really kind of want to see is the Rangers play more than one period of hockey against Florida because I feel like that was kind of like the memo against Florida. It was like it's like one period. Sometimes it wouldn't even be one period. That it's like they just got dominated throughout the rest of the game. You need the Rangers to take control of this game, and it needs to happen early. A lot of these games, if not all of them, Rangers have scored first. And after that, it's like a confidence booster, and everyone else starts playing around well. Thing you definitely want to see against Florida too is everyone playing. Their fourth lines from the first line to the fourth line, they've been doing it all season. Can they continue this against a great team? And I think they can. I mean, you have to be confident as a Ranger fan right now. You have to have, high hopes for them. But like we said, it's really going to be a test. Toronto was a test. They look great,
They did.
but they folded. They folded a little bit, and Igor really kind of held them on from being that 2-2. They were one goal away from tying it, and who knows what would have happened after that, where the Rangers fell apart. But God bless Igor Shesterkin, signed the 12 million. I got nothing else to say.
Yeah. Another thing, quick thing about Florida. Been talking about it for a decent amount now, but also like, well, we see like the tempers flare because I mean, in the playoffs, these teams are heated. Obviously, it's a playoff game. Everyone's going back and forth. Truba got ejected with the big elbow, whatever, big hits, fighting, whatever. It is only 6, 7 games in, but to these guys in hockey, it could be the seventh game in, or that to them, it's like the Stanley Cup final. They take
Yeah.
every game serious, and I think we might see. I mean, I don't know who's to say if we see some tempers flare.
Expect a physical game tomorrow.
Yeah.
Expect it. It's gonna come out. I guarantee the Rangers are gonna come out quick. Not sure if Florida is gonna be doing the same thing, especially kind of how that first that game against Minnesota was. Maybe they'll slow down the tempo a little bit, but that MSG crowd, they want revenge and they're gonna be rowdy. It's going to be electric tomorrow. Definitely a game to go to if you are
Yeah.
a Ranger fan. That's for sure. That is definitely for sure. A little Eastern Conference final rematch. Uh, it's gonna be great tomorrow. I'm very excited to watch the game tomorrow. I
Me
will be
too.
missing the first period, which sucks. Maybe the second too, because I
Oof,
work.
happens.
I know, dude. I had to put it on recording, and I'm just gonna probably run through the whole game. But we'll see. Like we said. Yeah, I mean, we touched upon Florida, so I guess let's go to Anaheim a little bit, right? Going into our next game, though. after Florida, that Thursday night game. We go to MSG again. We play the Ducks, 7 o'clock Saturday night, MSG Network. And give us our player stats and our little trivia question that we have for today.
We do. So, Tyler, against the Anaheim Ducks, which range do you think has the most points? Same question. Throw it back on you. What do you think?
I mean, I know Panarin does not play that well against the Ducks for some reason. So hopefully he bags a couple of points against him this Saturday. But I mean, my top two people are obviously going to be Chris Kreider and Mika Zibanejad. I'm gonna stick it with Chris Kreider.
Oof.
Oh, you gotta
No,
be kidding
Chris
me.
Kreider has 11 points,
That's
a
it.
+3 in 18 games against Anaheim. Mika, 11 goals, 14 assists, a +14
Ooh.
in 19 games against Anaheim. He is a killer there.
Yeah, it's like Mika against the Philadelphia Flyers, dude. You always expect him
Against these
apparently to
orange
come out.
teams, huh?
Yeah, right, dude. He hates orange. Respectfully, though, I hate the Flyers too.
Yeah.
I mean, going about that though. Damn, Mika Zibanejad again with a +14 too.
Yeah. He's
Huh?
insane.
Yeah. And you want to bring us our player stats?
Yeah. So, like I said with Mika, Panarin, his 4 goals, 13 assists. He's a -4 in 17 games against Anaheim.
Interesting.
Hopefully it bounce back. Kreider, we're talking about it a bit. 7 goals, 4 assists, a +3 in 18. Igor is 2-0-0 with a 3 goals, a 3 goals against average and a .850 save percentage. So not horrible. And then also new acquisition Riley Smith. He's been in the league for a couple of years. He's not bad against Anaheim. He's 5 goals, 15 assists, a +8 in about 40 games. It's not horrible
Not at all.
for
Not
his
at
career.
all. Not at all. Assuming Jonathan Quick will get the start Saturday, after Igor, I'm assuming he's gonna get the start to tonight's game against Florida. Uh, I mean, Jonathan Quick low key owns the Ducks too. His
Yeah.
stats are nice against them. Uh, yeah, I mean, we're gonna see a couple good young stars. I mean, people like Trevor Zegras, Troy Terry's been great, Ryan Strome, and also Leo Carlson, someone who you don't want to leave out. He had a beautiful overtime goal. He low-key moves like McDavid, and it's kind of scary for the rest of the league because if he gets a grip with that dude, Leo Carlson, 19 years old, he will be a problem. He's 6'2" or 6'3". He's a big kid, a big forward, and he moves beautifully. I don't know if you saw the goal, Ant, but he took it coast to coast, moved beautifully into the zone, created a good scoring opportunity for Troy Terry. And then his IQ to jump right back onto the puck. He had two guys from Utah that were kind of clamped together. Puck ends up going back in the net, back to the zone. I'm sorry. And then he gets a stick lift in after the pressure from Troy Terry, and then grabs the OT winner. Absolute beautiful play from a kid who's 19 years old. And
Yeah.
dude, when I'm telling you, like he moves, he stops. He's just not as quick as McDavid. But dude, I'm telling you, this kid in the future for Anaheim will be a problem, especially who he has, someone like Trevor Zegras. There's just a good amount of they have a good, decent team. I mean, they could be decent this year. They could make a wild card spot. I would like to see the Ducks in the playoffs this year. But tracking back a little bit, uh I feel like the Rangers could get another confident win here. I mean, it's almost like as a Ranger fan, who do you think you can't beat at this point?
Yeah.
I think you could beat Florida. If you don't, you don't. You're gonna lose some games. There's a couple trap games that'll be coming up a little bit after Florida. I would even say the Ducks could be one of them, and I believe they play Ottawa, which is gonna be another team right after the Ducks. But what do you expect out of this Ranger team, man, this Saturday?
Yeah. I expect them to hopefully just take care of business. Ducks are coming off a win against the Sharks. They won 3-1 last night, which would be Monday night. Or no,
Doesn't
it would
count.
be Tuesday night. But yeah, it was against the Sharks. I mean, 3-1 win. Yeah, no. It should be a pretty good game. I assume the Rangers would win. They do have some familiar faces. We talked about Ryan Strome. They do have Frank Vetrano there as well.
Yep,
So good
former
to see
Ranger
some
legends.
true legends missing that open net. Anyways, so them going into the come back to the Garden. I mean, Rangers should take care of business and should be a clean win.
Yeah, I agree. I really don't have so much for the game. Like we said, we have the players to watch out for. The Anaheim Ducks are a scary young team, and guys like Frankie Vitrano, he was a trade target for the Rangers again last year. He's a guy you need to watch out for. He's very good. He's very quick. He loves to get shots, loves to get to the net. Uh, Once again, Troy Terry, another scary Terry. I mean, he's nuts. He'll come at you throwing shots. I mean, they just have a good young team. Not so much physical. They're like we said, a young team that just loves to play hockey. So, going into Saturday, feel pretty confident as a Ranger fan, as anyone would, though. I mean, we're very happy with how we stand right now.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of see how it kind of plays out after Florida, kind of looking like what that game looked like. It kind of really just kind of plays out. Like we said, it's like, can they fix the mistakes that they've been doing in the past two games? And can they carry those from Florida to Anaheim? So we'll kind of see.
Yeah, most definitely. A new segment we want to start is the stars of the week. So Tyler and I came up with a consensus stars of the week, no particular order, but it would be Igor Shesterkin, Riley Smith, and Philip Hedl.
Yeah, I mean, talking about those guys and really throwing Heedle and Riley Smith in there because Heedle had a great game against Montreal. I believe he had a decent game against Toronto, but really kind of making the main focus on Igor Shesterkin or Riley Smith. Riley Smith kind of coming in 6 games in with 6 points. How are we doing? I mean, he had 3 points last night against Montreal. And like we said a million times, if Riley Smith turns it on, I think the whole first line could really get it going and it gets Mika going. He gets the goal, the first goal against Montreal. I mean, obviously not really having so much to do with Riley Smith, but I mean, it's just like everyone's kind of connecting with the points and, it's all kind of coming together as one. Like we said, from the third line from the first to the fourth, and especially talking about our third line, Filipino having 2 goals and assists last night. Even Capo Caco. I mean, there's a lot of people that you could throw in within this list. There's a lot of good into this team, and it was almost hard to even pick out the three. But Igor Shesterkin, we don't even need to talk about
Yeah,
him. Absolutely outstanding.
talked about him
Uh,
enough.
Riley Smith, came in, handled business. What I love about Riley Smith is how many shots he could throw towards the net. And especially with him with Kreider, Kreider's gonna find those rebounds and he's gonna start scoring a lot more goals, which I think what we talked about, I think he could break the 40-goal season. Like he had 39 last year. I think he can have 40.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, these three, obviously, this is like our own list, it's our opinions. And
Yeah.
when it comes to this, we're just going to be picking not just the guys that have the most points, guys either we want to just show love to and highlight them, give them a nice little spotlight, and also just like, hey, whatever we're feeling for the week. See,
Yeah,
I
I
agree
mean,
with I agree with all these three. I really like what Riley Smith's doing. He'll keep it up. Igor's obviously, yeah,
I
matter.
like the underrated. I mean, I think we're kind of just giving recognition to the guys that like
Yeah,
really deserve it. Igor Shesterkin obviously needs to be on that list. There's just like no doubt in
yeah,
my mind. I mean, come on. Um, but like we said with Filipino though, Filipino's first goal against Montreal, it was all him. That was all Filipino from the forecheck to working his way towards the net down low. Riley Smith throwing a beautiful pass. It was all him, and I think Filipino deserves to be noticed for this because he is a great player, and he didn't have the chance that he did really last season to this season now from obviously getting the concussion, missing like majority of the season. I think he played how many regular season games? 6, 7,
yeah, not a
maybe,
lot.
whatever it was. But for him to come, you know, obviously from injury, be able to play a little bit last year, he looked pretty decent. But it's also pretty hard to match up. You're kind of coming in off injury against the Florida Panthers
Yeah, throw him
who
in there.
were, yeah, it's a tough play. But for him to absolutely have, the season that he's already starting with right now, I mean, we just can't get over the third line enough. Uh, it's looked good. It's looked good. So I'm very happy with those three guys and a lot of the team. There's obviously we can give praise to everybody.
Yeah,
Brandon Schneider could be there too. Uh, Another guy that I would think Adam Fox. I mean,
even
the
like
list.
Johnny Brodzinski.
Johnny Bradinsky, Adam Edstrom, they look good. They
Yeah,
look good. It's a lot of depth in the team, and that's really kind of what you want to see from, the team that we had last year that we really didn't know who you could really throw in for that fourth line. It was like,
yeah,
is it going to be Rempe this game, or is it going to be like whoever else? So, very happy, very, very happy with our guys. Kudos to them. But yeah, I think that's really gonna wrap up this week's episode, right?
yeah. I think so. We're gonna say thank you to everyone watching. Drop a sub, drop a like. We appreciate it. Follow us on TikTok and on Instagram. Yappin Blue Shirts on all platforms. On Instagram, you'll get the game days, you'll get the lineup, you'll get the final score. On TikTok and Instagram Reels, you'll get our clips of just highlights of the podcast.
Mhm.
With some stats there, some highlights there, everything. Follow us on everywhere. We appreciate it. TikTok's blowing up. Love to
Yeah,
see
a
it.
little bit.
And we'll keep it going. Podcast next one should be out on Tuesday,
Yeah,
presumably.
only putting out one episode. But one thing I wanted to add, we are going to be working on breaking news and stuff like that more for the Rangers. Obviously, Ryan Lindgren kind of coming back. Like we're kind of just starting a little bit slower, but we're gonna get to it, and it's gonna be a lot better on our Instagram page for sure. That's really gonna be our main. I feel like everything, final scores and everything. TikTok, obviously, a little bit more for the clips, and YouTube for the episodes. So make sure you are posted for that. So we will be
Yep.
posting there soon, kind of getting our stuff in. So thank you everyone for watching, and we really appreciate you guys. And you got
Yeah.
anything else?
No, that's it. Hey, if you made it here, what should they comment, Tyler? If they made it this
Hmm,
far.
definitely not the Giants. I'm looking at my room right now. Comment Naruto if you
All
made it this
right.
far.
Drop it down below. We will see you guys in the next one.
Alrighty,
Peace.
guys. Deuces.